Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Your game is coming up next. But here's some information from the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
6 easy ways to become an MVP. And by MVP, we mean most valuable parent. Like all of us, the parents of high school athletes tend to protect their children from adversity, or they overly involve themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent. But be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
it's cloudy and cold outside. It's basketball weather here in the state of Indiana. Well, luckily, basketball is an indoor sport, and we are set for some good high school girls basketball action this afternoon between the Eagles of Heritage Christian and the Wildcats of Lawrence North High School. With CJ Benberry, I am Kurt Darling. Welcome aboard. Glad you could join us here on Indiana SRN for today's coverage of girls high school basketball. It is the second week of basketball here in the state of Indiana, and we are lucky to be able to actually bring you some coverage of some high school basketball, given the fact that we're still in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. And as you can see, the bleachers at Heritage Christian High School, very sparse, and sparse for good reason, as we are making sure that we stay properly distanced and, of course, doing all that we can to prevent the spread of coronavirus. And, of course, in doing so, we at Indiana SRN are bringing this to you remotely. We are not on site. We are actually coming to you live from the Indiana SRN studios here on the east side of Indianapolis, and we are giving you the camera feed live at Heritage Christian High School. Thanks to Otto Desario being our cameraman out there. We hope he'll do a good job here this afternoon. But talking about this game, CJ Benberry, obviously two teams that have enjoyed pretty moderate success over the last few years or so. The Lawrence North Wildcats, the defending state champions in Class 4A. Heritage Christian having won 7 state titles in the last 10 years coming into this contest. Obviously, two very, very experienced teams coming into this contest.
Yeah, I think that's going to play a big part into today's matchup, Kurt. You got both sides, as you mentioned, 4A, the defending 4A champions, and Heritage Christian has just been a powerhouse in the last decade. You mentioned 7 championships in those 10, and it really starts, and their best player maybe in the 10 years that they've had in this decade, Ariana Wiggins, who is just on a phenomenal run right now. Every game that they've played this year, she has not scored less than 20 points, averaging 28 points per game this year. So she has been a force to reckon with. So it's going to be interesting to see how Lawrence North wants to match up against her. Do they go a 2-3 zone, or do they go man-to-man? Trust that man-to-man coverage and see if that can stop her. We'll have to see how that plays out.
The Heritage Christian Eagles 1-1 coming into this contest. They have, or rather 1-2 coming into this contest. They won their opening game against Lawrence Central, the rival of the Lawrence North Wildcats, but then have since dropped their last 2 games against East Central, which was on the road, and then they also lost to the Greyhounds of Carmel just 2 days ago, bringing you now to the game against Lawrence North. The Lawrence North Wildcats are 2-1 on the season. They lost their opener against the Noblesville Millers, which was kind of a shocker to them, but also it was only November, as the Indianapolis Star put it, and of course they have since won their last 2 games against Anderson and Zionsville, pretty handedly, mind you, by each of them winning by a margin of 20 points or more coming into this contest. Under the head coach of Chris Giffen in his 9th year are the Wildcats, 176-37 in his tenure. Very successful run so far in his 9 seasons as the head coach of the Lawrence North Wildcats. Only 1 state title in that span, though, but they have enjoyed a lot of success in the postseason as well. Some new faces, though, for the Heritage Christian Eagles. You have new head coach Cassie Wiseman in her first year as the head coach. She's taking over for Rick Reisinger, who was the coach for the last 15 seasons of the Eagles, and of course enjoying a lot of that success, those 7 state championships in his tenure as the head coach. He was 330-75 in his tenure as the head coach of the Eagles, and so those are some pretty big shoes to fill if you're head coach Cassie Wiseman.
Yeah, and that's maybe why you see the team maybe off to a slower start at 1-2. You have the same coach for, as you mentioned, 30-plus years, and then you get a new coach in, so it's going to take some time getting adjusted to the new coach, their new schemes, how they want to run things through. But, we still mention this Heritage Christian team is still a very good team. And once they finally get things going with their new coach, Coach Weissman, I think the sky could be the limit for them. But, yeah, you mentioned big shoes to fill, and I hope one thing that doesn't go on is that they try to replicate what he did. This is a whole different coach, a whole different style. Put your new style into these players and recruit the players that you want to bring to Heritage Christian and go from there, and don't try to do so much what the old coach did.
The number 10 Lawrence North Wildcats in 4A, the number 13 Heritage Christian Eagles in 3A. Going to be doing some action here later on, as tip-off is going to be coming at you at about 1:30 Eastern Time here on Indiana SRN. We'll take our first time out of the pregame show. When we come back, we'll keep breaking down the players and statistics from each side, and we will keep bringing you live coverage as we get set for this big matchup. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 3 minutes. You're watching Indiana high school basketball coverage here on Indiana SRN.
Faith in a company is extremely important, and Johnson Mello puts their money where their mouth is. In the past several years, we've, as a company, had tithed, which is pretty unheard of.
Things from donating equipment to churches, helping non-for-profits, helping wounded warriors, working with the Catholic community, the churches, a lot of people that may be even struggling that help daycares, help children come into this industry. So we do a lot of donations back to the community, but also our workers and our team also helps in those projects.
Here we go.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
You got a broken door, trapped car, you can't buy time.
We take it very seriously and take pride in being responsive.
We have all of central Indiana covered from Martinsville,
Avon,
Up to Anderson.
to Cicero. There's always somebody in your area.
It's important that we're able to get there, same day, because people's time is valuable.
On our trucks, we carry just about everything we need to fix a garage door right then and there.
Sunshine, rain, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Getting ready for high school girls basketball action here on Indiana SRN as you have the Heritage Christian Eagles of 3A taking on the 4A class Lawrence North Wildcats. The Wildcats, the defending state champions in the 4A ranks, while the Heritage Christian Eagles, the defending sectional champions from last year, but of course were unable to go any further than that as they lost to Brownstown Central in the regional final last year, hoping to get some redemption there, but we still have a lot of basketball left to be played before we get to the month of March in the state of Indiana. With CJ Benberry, I'm Kurt Darling, and obviously we'd like to once again thank all of you here on it for tuning into Indiana SRN both today and last night. Of course, last night was a pretty competitive night of sectional or regional rounds of football action across the state. Lots of games taking place, and of course you tuned in in the thousands on Indiana SRN to watch the multitude of games that we had last night. Of course, one of the games, Cathedral and Whiteland. Of course, Cathedral coming away. Of course, CJ, I know you're happy about that, being the Cathedral grad yourself. Of course, they move on to the semi-state to face Castle in the regional round down there, and that'll definitely be a pretty good game as well.
Yeah, it should be, and Cathedral's looked pretty good this year, and a tough-fought matchup, and the only thing that, sucked was you had to be out in that cold weather last night. But,
the show must go on, as they always say. And so that will be a good one. Of course, we'll have more games for you here at Indiana SRN. What those games will be, not sure yet, but we will be sure to keep you posted in that regard. But, of course, the focus here right now is the fact that we have girls basketball action. Heritage Christian and Lawrence North, two teams that are highly touted coming into this contest. And, of course, in particular, breaking down a couple of the individual players. We talked about them briefly in our first segment. Was you have Ari Wiggins here for Heritage Christian, the verbal commit to Michigan. They're going to be a Wolverine next year. And, of course, the very comfortable, as described by Coach Cassie Wiseman, very comfortable playing the ball, and, of course, as well, and just a very comfortable player. But also you have Tyranny Brown, who is going to be a very, very highly touted player for this Heritage Christian squad. It's a very good 1-2 tandem between these two players.
Yeah, and they feed off pretty well, and we talked during the break, and you mentioned that a lot of people have given her some really high praise, just her wisdom and what she sees on the court is beyond of what she is grade and age-wise. So she is a really good compliment to Wiggins. If Wiggins is having an off night or if Wiggins is being double-teamed on the perimeter, you have Tyranny Brown who can drive to the basket and can also knock down a shot. She's shooting 52% from the field right now, 29% from the three-point range. I know she'd like to get that percentage up just a little bit more. But those aren't bad numbers, especially from the field. When you're shooting 52% from the field, I think Coach Wiseman will take that any time of the day. She's second on the team in scoring points, 51 total points of the year so far. Wiggins has 76. So, again, those 1-2 punches is Heritage Christian. That is their team. If you're LN, if you can stop one or if you can stop both of those guys, that gives you a pretty good chance at winning the game.
And also to supplement that as well, you have Courtney Lee, the 6'1 senior down low. She's committed to play at Hope College for her college ball. Just a big rebounding presence down low.
Yeah, and she's averaging just about, I think, 10 or 12 rebounds a game, and she's averaging 4 points, on the year so far. So if she's not getting the points, she's getting those rebounds. And when you're a 6'1 center/forward, Coach expects you to get those rebounds, and she's been pulling through for Coach so far earlier in this year. So look for her to be all over the boards today, in today's matchup.
You're going to see a lot of play from Jayla Smith as well on the other side of the basketball. You're going to have her playing at Purdue University next year, and is also highly touted as a potential Miss Basketball candidate. She scored 17 points in their opening loss to Noblesville, but has since been averaging about 21 points per contest. And Giffen says that she's going to be given a lot of freedom when it comes to her play on the court, because that's just how versatile of a player she is.
And when you're the best person on your team, I think Coach can allow you to kind of, go off on yourself. You mentioned 21 points per game, 4 rebounds per game. She is the motor of this Wildcat team, and they have two players that score double digits, and then they have everyone else is scoring at least 5 to 6 points per game. So this is a well-rounded team for Coach Chris Giffen. And it's going to be led by Jayla Smith. She can shoot the basketball as well, and she can also drive to the paint. But what I love about her game is she sees the floor really well, and she averages about 2 or 3 assists per game on the young season so far. So, again, even if you stop her and she's not scoring, she has a way and a knack to get her teammates involved and rack up those assists. So it's going to be interesting to see how Wiggins versus Smith, that's going to be a good matchup today.
Taking a look at this roster for Lawrence North, obviously you have the big leadership presence in Jayla Smith, but also you have Sydney Hughes and Shamaria Walker, Angia Graves, and also Ariel Helm, who are your 5 seniors for this team. But other than that, there's no juniors. You just have your 5 seniors, then you have sophomores and freshmen. So you have a unique tandem here when it comes to experience of the seniors, but then after that, some inexperience on the lower part of the squad.
And you're going to get those 5 seniors leaving, so it's going to be interesting to see how Lawrence North does next year for Coach Giffen, who he's going to bring in. Is it going to be coming off JV, or are you going to try to bring some people in from other schools or from middle schools, and maybe some freshmen? But, yeah, with only 1 or 2 freshmen on this team and maybe 1 sophomore and the rest are seniors, that's a good senior leadership that the younger ladies can experience off that, and they're going to have to take a really big step next year with all those seniors gone. It's going to be a young squad next year for Coach Giffen, but Ellen has been a powerhouse in 4A for as long as I can remember, so I don't put anything down him, and I expect Coach Giffen to coach these ladies well.
Indeed you do here, as you're getting set for coverage here on Indiana SRN of some good games here today. You obviously have Lawrence North and Heritage Christian here on Indiana SRN, but in tandem as well, if you want to get some other girls basketball action, we are streaming live Decatur Central at Greenwood Christian Academy. You can catch that game right here on Indiana SRN starting at about 1:25 p.m. You can catch that as well going in tandem, but then also you're going to have other games coming up later on next week as well, as we'll be bringing you Edinburgh and Greenwood Christian Academy next Tuesday, the 17th, and also Shenandoah against Heritage Christian. Those two will be evening games coming up next week on Indiana SRN, and of course as well we'll be bringing you some football semi-state action as well next Friday, but where we will be going, we're still not sure yet. We'll give you those coverages as well as that information becomes available. You can also catch us here on our YouTube channel at Indiana SRN on YouTube.com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss a game, and get all of the action that you've missed here on Indiana SRN on demand as well. Some big semi-state action coming up as well, and then, you had a really competitive night of football as well as we talked about earlier.
Yeah, last night football was well, and it's going to come down to the nitty-gritty, and once you lose, you're out. And teams are going to be playing a lot harder, but one thing I like about it is the football weather. We all like to play in that hot weather, but football I think is really well played, in that cold weather, because it really changes up the game plan. If it's windy or raining, you're going to run the ball more, but if it's cold, that relies on the running backs and the running backs' hands. You have to have well hands. I know your hands are cold, but you're going to have to tough it out, and the quarterback is going to make the play, or the running back's going to make the play, but you have to be able to catch the ball. You can't run the ball every single play. So I think that's where strategies really come in, and football is what it is in that cold weather. I know the old school coaches will agree with me on that one too.
And that's another thing you got to remember too about the fact that we're able to get through the postseason tournament here in the middle of a pandemic, and obviously bringing that into consideration. That's just one of those things that you always try to make sure that you're very aware of as we get going here through the rest of this postseason. We'll go ahead and take our final timeout. When we come back, we'll have opening tip. Don't go anywhere. You're watching girls basketball action here on Indiana SRN.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Parents, do you like free food? Hike it on over to Prodigy Burger and Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger and Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Indiana SRN and never miss an upcoming game. You'll be glad you did and catch all of our action on demand if you missed today's contest. With CJ Benberry, I'm Kurt Darling, getting set for girls high school basketball action between Heritage Christian and Lawrence North. CJ Benberry, your 3 keys to the game for each team to be successful here this evening.
I think for Heritage Christian, if they're going to win this game, obviously run through Ariana Wiggins. Wiggins is going to be your playmaker, obviously. Another key for them, defensively stopping Jayla Smith. Again, 21 points per game for her. If you can slow her down, you can slow down this LN team. And also, who's going to win the rebounding battle? Courtney Lee is going to be versus Sydney Hughes. 12 rebounds for Courtney Lee, 6.5 for Sydney Hughes. For LN, get the ball, obviously, to Jayla Smith. That's going to be your main point to win this game. If you can't find everyone around you to be able to score the basketball and get everyone else involved, and try to slow down this Heritage Christian team if you can.
And we're underway here on Indiana SRN. And it's going to be a winning tip here for Lawrence North. And there's Early up top. Over to Smith. Into the corner. Back over now to the top of the key here with Smith. And into the corner for 3, and she hits it. And Lawrence North getting into the scoring column first, and it's a 3-0 ball game.
And a good-looking shot there. The offense seemed to break down just a little bit, but Lawrence North did a good job getting back into their offensive set and knocking down a wide-open 3.
Heritage Christian getting their first crack at the offensive side of the ball. Ari Wiggins up top. And Tyranny Brown gets shut down along the baseline, and we have a traveling violation, and that will go back over to Lawrence North. And so not the offensive set that Heritage Christian wanted to see there, and Lawrence North going to try and keep it up here. Lawrence North averaging 62 points per contest coming into tonight. And having won each of their last 2 contests by more than 20 points, as another 3 on the way from Early.
Back-to-back threes here for LN. It's obviously a 6-0 lead, but so far Heritage Christian's defense has not pressed up as you get a wide-open basket there for Heritage Christian.
There's Courtney Lee right underneath, and that's exactly what you want to. That's exactly the scheme you want to see to try and counter that outside shooting attack from Lawrence North.
Yep, and it looks like Heritage is playing that 2-3 zone, so you're forcing LN to get that ball inside, so they haven't been able to do that on the 2 possessions that LN has had the ball so far, as they're 2 for 2 from 3.
Jayla Smith with it up top now. And Early tries another 3, and she's short this time. 6-2 Early with just about 6 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. And the shot goes awry there, and in transition quickly is Petty. And now back up top to Jayla Smith. Smith, top of the key 3 on the way off the back of the iron, no good. Quick in transition is Wiggins, and she dumps it back outside, and there's an easy shot.
And that's a good-looking pass there. Wiggins draws so much attention to where you had a wide-open player who, about a 15-foot jumper, was wide open, and I believe that shot was taken by Audrey Boer, her first 2 points of the game.
6-4 ball game, and right underneath there They try to get it to Michaela Washington Cobb, and it goes awry. And now back in transition, here comes Petty. And underneath on the backdoor rebound there. And it just does not fall inside. Wiggins right to the hoop and gets it to go.
And you see just the hesitation from Wiggins through the legs twice. She has before in transition pulled up from three, so that attracts the defense to draw up to her. When you do that, she just blew past him with the left-hand dribble, easy left-hand layup for Wiggins. That's what makes her game so smooth. You put so much focus on one thing that she does well, she can beat you with something else.
All knotted up at 6 apiece here. Early tries another corner three, and that's off the mark. In transition is Jasmine Williams, and she loses the handle on the ball, and it goes out of bounds. So about 4:30 left here in this first quarter. And it's been pretty even thus far as both teams are just trying to feel things out a little bit.
For LN, they've only taken 1 2-point shot in this game. Everything else has been from three. That's what the 2-3 zone is wanting this LN team to do, shoot that ball from deep. And so far, LN has only been about 2 for 4, about 50%.
Monica Williams looks inside to Early, and it's back up top to Jayla Smith. Smith back over to Williams. Williams back to Smith. She drives the baseline, kicks it back outside to Helm, and Helm tries to make something happen. Boer gets a tip on it, but Jayla Smith comes up with it and knocks down the first 2-point shot of the night for Lawrence North.
And a good-looking shot from Jalen Smith that what looked to be a bad possession turned out to be a good one for Ellen, and then they do a nice job defensively, forcing Wiggins into a bad shot.
So a bad possession there for Heritage Christian. Quick in transition, though, is Monica Williams, and it gets tipped off of a Heritage Christian player and out of bounds. And Lawrence North, the defending state champions in Class 4A, they defeated Northwestern in the state finals last year with a score of 59-56. This is a team that went 26-4 last season, and they had only one bad stretch where they lost 4 of 5 games. And that was right before the state tournament. As Williams with a long three, and she hits that one. So Monica Williams getting into the score column.
And a good-looking jumper from Monica Williams. Again, they're going to leave her wide open. She's going to take it. As Tierney Brown, that's what she can do so well. Again, we mentioned she's a driver. She's a big, strong girl at 5'8". She can take the contact, drive the lane, and again, she can also shoot the shot, shooting 52% from the field.
Early tries another three-pointer. That's off the mark. Ari Williams, quick in transition, misses the lay-in, and the rebound falls into the hands of Jayla Smith. She goes behind the back in transition, pulls up for a three, and she hits that one. And that just goes to show you the talent of Jayla Smith.
Again, Jayla Smith against Ari Wiggins is going to be a matchup I am here to see. And that time you mentioned behind the back. And again, if you're not going to stop me in transition, as Mark Jackson always says, hand down, man down, shoots the three wide open. Ellen is shooting it pretty well from three so far.
Ari Wiggins' shot along the baseline goes off the mark, and you see Lawrence North right there using kind of a 1-3-1 zone defense to try and disrupt the top of the key. Monica Williams kicks it back outside now to Angia Graves. And now we have a traveling violation on Jayla Smith. We see Angia Graves into the game for the first time. She's a senior for this ball team of Lawrence North.
Okay, are you on the air?
I know for Heritage Christian, Courtney Lee already has 5 rebounds so far in this game. It just seems like the ball is just attracted to her somehow. She's always there to get the dirty, loose boards. And that's exactly what Heritage Christian needs her to do.
Tierney Brown tries to find Lee underneath. Triple team, gets the rebound, loses it briefly, and it comes into the hands of Lawrence North. And as you see, Courtney Lee definitely at 6'1", a big disturbance down low here for this offense of Lawrence North. Into the corner here is Williams. She drives the baseline. It kicks it back up top now to Shamaria Walker, and now back to Jayla Smith. So good defense down low here for Heritage Christian.
And good closeout defense by Tierney Brown, not allowing Jayla Smith, who's already knocked down 1 or 2 threes this game, making sure she doesn't get another one.
A minute and a half left to go in this first quarter. Williams over to Shamaria Walker. Williams in the corner. Feeds it underneath to Ariel Helm, and she puts it off the glass.
Did you see the strength there, Kurt? That's against Courtney Lee, too. Courtney Lee stands about 6'1", and she physically just back-ended Courtney Lee down in the post for a nice, strong 2. LN up 8 early. They're looking good.
Lee holding it in the corner. Holding it is Brown. Off the give and go inside to Ariel Helm, or rather, excuse me, that's Jasmine Williams, and she misses that shot. Quick in transition, though, here is Shamaria Walker. She misses the lay-in. And quick in transition is Wiggins. This is where she's dangerous. She pulls up from the foul line, and that just rattles in and out.
But a good look, though. Again, that's a guard move off transition. You get that in transition. Pull it from about the free throw line or so and try to knock down that jumper. Just her shot hasn't been there so far early as that one went in and out.
Long 3 there from Jayla Smith, and that's way off the mark. Wiggins, tough in transition, and the shot at the buzzer goes off the backboard, and that's the end of the first quarter. 16-8, your score at after 1. We'll be back in a minute here on Indiana SRN.
To the game, we've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it way, you need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
After 1 here on Indiana SRN, it's 16-8. Leading scorer so far today among both teams is Lanaya Early of Lawrence North. She has 6 points off of 2 made three-pointers in about the first 2 minutes or so. And right now, it's been pretty much an even keel game. It's just a matter of the fact that Lawrence North has made more outside shots than Heritage Christian so far.
Yep, and Heritage Christian might have to change up their defense. They were in a 2-3 zone in that first quarter. We'll see what adjustments they make here in the second. But for Heritage Christian, their offense hasn't been bad. They just haven't been able to get any shots as Wiggins tries to force another tough shot up.
And that doesn't go. It goes out of bounds, and it will be Heritage Christian basketball this time out. Checking into the ball game between the quarters is Lily Chapman, the freshman, who adds a little bit of size down there in substitution for Courtney Lee. And she has the basketball off the inbound. Here's Tyranny Brown, turns the corner, but gets fouled.
And a nice strong move there from Tyranny Brown. You saw her post up out of the out-of-bounds play right in the center of the paint there, faked right, and then used her left hand and her body to draw the contact, try to get the and one. Wasn't able to complete it, but she'll have a chance at the line for 2, where I believe at the free throw line this year she's shooting just under 92%.
Monica Williams charged with the foul. That is the first foul by either team in this game so far. We went foul free throughout that first quarter.
Yeah, and we in error or off break, excuse me. We were like, man, that was a fast moving quarter. No timeouts, no fouls. Here's the first foul of the game, but it always makes the game move faster. But Tyranny Brown able to convert that first foul into 2 points.
So Tyranny Brown able to get the first points of the ball game in this second quarter here for Heritage Christian, cutting it to a 6-point deficit. Early tries to turn the corner, kicks it back outside to Smith, and she's called for double dribbling. Actually, that's Monica Williams who gets called for the double dribble, and it's a turnover as we see Courtney Lee check back into the ball game.
So far, Heritage Christian has scored 2 points and forced 2 turnovers from LN. So a good start from them in the second quarter. They're going to have to do that to keep clawing their way back in the game.
Tyranny Brown trying to direct some traffic, gets it off to Wiggins. Back to Brown. She has a hole inside, a feed underneath to Lee.
and that's a good play there. You saw the attention top of the key. Tierney Brown makes a nice cut. Again, if you don't have the basketball, don't just stand still. Cut to the basket. Try to find yourself open. Wiggins did that for Brown. Drew the double team, and then Courtney Lee.
And there's a block by Lee, and that forces a turnover to Wiggins, who's quick in transition, and she gets it to go. No, they're going to call a foul on the floor before she got the shot to fall. Either way, Heritage Christian's going to keep the ball.
And they seem to have more energy as Heritage Christian this second quarter. They're doing a good job defensively, and offensively they're making this LN defense speed up a little bit, make them make some mistakes, and they've done that. And when you see what's happening now, a 4-0 run to start this second quarter.
2 fouls charged now to Lawrence North in this first half as Wiggins gets it off of the inbound. And now back into the ball game is Audrey Boer, and the ball's tipped out of bounds. It stays with Heritage Christian.
And you mentioned earlier in that first quarter, Kurt, the 1-3-1 defense that they seem to be playing. So you have that one defender at the top of the key, but with the 3 in the middle, you're forcing everything to go to the outside. You want to find things inside. As you just saw right there, Heritage Christian beat that 1-3-1 defense with Tierney Brown get into the inside, and that time drew the contact on a shot as Ellen tried to go for the steal.
Foul's going to be on Lawrence North as Brown again able to convert at the foul stripe. So that's the 3rd foul now on Lawrence North in this first half. And Brown proving herself very efficient at the foul stripe. She is 4 for 4 thus far in the second quarter. Cutting it to a 2-point deficit. Lawrence North has yet to score. As we have a foul, it's going to be on Heritage Christian, and it looks like Tierney Brown is going to pick up her first.
It'll be interesting to see where they looks like they're going to call it on the floor, but that foul happened when the shot was occurring, so I didn't know if they're going to call that same in the active shooting. They're going to call that on the floor, it looks like. So a break for Heritage Christian.
3 fouls to 1 on the game reset here. That in favor of Lawrence North at the moment. No team has taken a timeout so far. And it goes out of bounds as Monica Williams loses the handle, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds by Heritage Christian, so it'll stay with the Wildcats. And this is a Lawrence North team that has been to the state finals 2 out of the last 3 years. And Ari Wiggins dribbles off of her foot, and that goes sour there for Heritage Christian. And that's where Ari Wiggins is dangerous in transition.
And I'm sure she's beating herself up from that because she had an easy 2 points, maybe a timeout by Ellen there because they're on a 6-0 run to start this quarter. That would have tied it up, but you don't see that happen often with Wiggins.
Kicking it back outside. Here is Early with a 3-pointer. She has gone cold after hitting 2 early 3-pointers in the first quarter. Wiggins kicks it back up top to Brown. Long 3 from Wiggins. Just off the mark there. Jayla Smith directing traffic. Kicks it off now to Williams, who drives inside the floater on the way, and she gets that to go. And that breaks the drought there for Lawrence North here as we're now approaching the 5-minute mark of the second quarter.
And a good drive there by Williams. Again, you mentioned the scoring drought, and now a turnover as she steals the ball defensively. So Ellen, 2 good possessions back-to-back, trying to get back in the game and extend their lead.
That wide 2-3 zone, and Jayla Smith breaking the ankles there. Can't get that shot to fall. Wiggins, quick in transition, lays it up and lays it in.
And you just see how difficult it is to stop her in transition. Again, when she's driving and moving that fast, you're going to have to just try to move in front of her and try to draw a charge. And now you see her get the steal here.
And Wiggins proving how dangerous she can be. Back-to-back shots here for Wiggins, as it is now knotted back up at 18 apiece. So far, Wiggins has 6 points this afternoon. Again, remember, she has not scored less than 20 points in any of the first 3 games that Heritage has played this season.
And we'll see if she can keep that streak going here. So far, her shot hasn't been falling as proficiently as she would like, but again, it's still early, and if she continues to get steals and get in the passing lanes, like that, she'll get to 20 easily.
Spin move inside by Helm. Can't get that to go. Wiggins Has to face the defense this time, but puts up the floater and gets it to bounce in. And Ari Wiggins has come alive in this second quarter. She has 6 of her 8 points here in the last few minutes.
Uh-oh.
And a long 3 there from Williams. Can't get that to fall. Brown in transition. And now she'll try a 3 of her own. And that's off the mark, but Heritage Christian has taken their first lead of the ball game this evening. 3.5 minutes left to play in this second quarter. Early tries to drive inside, has an easy layup off the glass, and just does not fall. And we have a foul going up for the rebound. It's going to be against Lawrence North.
And I mean, that was a good drive there by Early. She faked right and went left. I thought if she would have used the backboard with that left hand, she might have been able to complete that, but she wasn't able to. And it looks like a 30-second timeout is going to be called. It looks like we'll keep it here, Kurt. But, the Heritage Christian defense is what's really sparked this run so far. I mean, again, they were down 16-8 after one, and you're already up 20-18. You've only allowed 2 points the second quarter with about 3:15 to go in the second quarter. The defense has played well, which has led to their offense. Ari Wiggins has 6 points this quarter, and Tierney Brown has 4 points. So that's a lot of your scoring already, and Courtney Lee has pitched in 2 points. So, Heritage Christian, again, they're looking like that team that they have for the last decade or so, and they're just able to beat you in so many ways, mostly in transition.
And you see the difference in the playing style so far here. You have Lawrence North, very athletic, very up and down on the high-low, but you have Heritage Christian who, even though they've been disrupted a lot on their offensive sets, they at least try to keep that efficiency going.
Yeah, and, I think that's what Coach Weissman has learned as a new coach. Keep that efficiency going. Let's just get efficient shots. Not every shot has to be the best shot, or, let's not force shots. If we have a shot, open shot, let's take it. If we can get it inside, let's get it inside. If we can get our shots from transition, any way we can get 2 points, let's get it on the board.
Out of the timeout, and now it's an extended 2-3 zone here from Lawrence North, and they force an over and back violation. And Lawrence North making good use of that timeout here to try and change things up defensively. So another turnover by Heritage Christian as Smith will inbound it there to Williams. Around the horn, over to Smith. Into the paint Smith goes, can't get that to fall. Wiggins gathers the rebound. She tries to show how dangerous she is in transition, lays it up, but she's fouled.
You'll see Wiggins want to use her left hand. She's a left-handed player, so she's going to go to that left-hand side. And again, if you're the defense, you have to know she wants to get to her left hand. You saw in the fast break on the right side, she used her left hand. So if you can force her to go to her right, make her use her right hand, you're going to severely diminish Wiggins as a player on the court as she misses that first free throw. So again, if she's going left, jump to that left, anticipate she's going left, try to draw the charge, get Wiggins in foul trouble, and get her on the bench.
Anijah Graves charged with the foul there. That is now the 5th foul on Lawrence North. And Ari Wiggins able to convert the second foul shot. She now has 9 points to lead all scorers. A 21-18 advantage as we approach the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. And Williams able to convert there.
Been a good drive there by Williams. She decided enough was enough. Struggles on the offensive side. Let me get to the basket and get 2 easy points, and that time she did it.
Brown, in a swarm of Wildcats, gets the ball in the paint and has to take it back out, and they'll reset on offense. Graves with it. Over to Wiggins. Wiggins inside to Lee, kicking it back out to Brown, and she's called for traveling as she set her feet before she took her first dribble, and another turnover.
One thing interesting about that defensive set, Kurt, is you saw that they switched on that 2-3 zone. So when you move to the side, they had one of the wings then go up to the top. So that kind of puts your I can't think of the word. During the free throw, I'll think of the word. I think it's athleticism. They're able to interchange so many players on that 2-3 zone, and that's going to give trouble to that Heritage Christian offense with size. You can bring maybe the center that you had out there and put it to the top of the key, and then that's going to be an issue for Ariana Wiggins if she tries to get up a jump shot. 2
shots here for Monica Williams as Courtney Lee picks up her first foul of the contest, and Williams knocks it home. This is the first trip of the day for the Wildcats to the foul stripe. And she goes 1 of 2 at the foul line. 21 all as the ball goes out of bounds. Wiggins looking underneath to Lee this time, and she's fouled from behind, going for the basketball. And give that foul again to Lawrence North, as they have now one more foul left to give before they put Heritage Christian in the 1-and-1 bonus. Wiggins to inbound it, has to find somebody quickly, and she gets it to Brown. Actually, that's Helm. And now back outside to Wiggins. Wiggins to Brown underneath, and Lee unable to gather it, and she loses the handle. Just took her eye off the ball on the inbound. Smith tries to drive the lane. Can't get that shot to go. Good defense by Tyranny Brown. And Wiggins has a little bit of help down low. She goes for the shot herself, but she picks up the foul. And so this is now a 1-and-1 coming up either way.
Are they going to call it in the act of shooting, or are they going to?
It's going to be 2 shots. And now we have a technical foul coming up here on Jayla Smith. Looks like she may have gotten a little wordy with the officials, getting a little frustrated here. And so it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct here on Jayla Smith. So that now puts Ari Wiggins at the line for 2 technical foul shots. And after they take these shots, they will shoot the personal foul shots, which Wiggins will also be taking. And it will be Heritage Christian basketball when it is all said and done.
And you have to think maybe it was because she didn't get that call on the offensive end down there when she drove the lane. She thought she got fouled and didn't get anything, but then you give Ariana Wiggins that foul call down there. So just a little frustration boiling. Again, they had a 16-8 lead at the end of the first, and then they give it away here in the second quarter. Just some frustration viewing for LN. But, you know, Heritage Christian has missed their last 2 free throws. They haven't been able to capitalize. So they go 2 for 4 out of 4 free throws. You know, Heritage Christian would like to do a little better than that next time.
So now the technical foul's applied, so it'll be Heritage Christian basketball. Tyranny Brown going 1 for 2 on her trip for the personal foul shots. And also Ari Wiggins going 1 for 2 as well on the technical foul shots. And keep in mind also that's a personal foul on Jayla Smith. That is her first, and also a technical foul. So another technical foul on her, and she is going to be kicked out of the game, mind you, as Heritage Christian unable to take advantage of the free possession. Lawrence North basketball.
So if we're doing our math right, we're trying to keep score here. It looks to be about maybe 30 seconds left. That's a good drive there by Jayla Smith. Knots this game up at 23 apiece, so with under 30 seconds to go, Heritage Christian looks to hold for the last shot. And we'll see if that ball's going to be in the hands of Wiggins or Tierney Brown.
So letting the clock wind down here, they're going to take all the time they can to try and hold for the last shot. Jayla Smith held on to only 2 points in this entire second quarter. And keep in mind, this is where it's beneficial to not have a shot clock in high school basketball, as Wiggins now has to try and get something moving here. Loses the handle on the ball. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Heritage Christian with only a few seconds left in the second quarter.
And a dangerous pass. You take all that time down, and then you almost turn the ball over. I'm sure that's not what Coach Weissman or Ari Wiggins wanted to do in that possession.
Brown still has some time left. Kicks it back to Wiggins. They start running their offensive set off the screen, and that's going to be a moving screen on Tyranny Brown. A late turnover here.
And that's a tough call. I thought she got set when she made that pick. Her second personal foul, and again, you waste all that time down, so that could be good, so Ellen doesn't have much time to get a shot up, but you would like to put a shot up yourself, wasting all that time, but Heritage Christians have to hold strong here defensively.
So Lawrence North, right at the buzzer, tries to get something off. It does not go. We are knotted at 23 points apiece between these two teams, Heritage Christian and Lawrence North. Going into halftime here, leading all scorers is Ari Wiggins. She has 11 points. We'll take a timeout for halftime. When we come back, we will bring you second half coverage with CJ Benberry. I'm Kurt Darling. You're watching girls basketball high school action here on Indiana SRN.
Faith in a company is extremely important, and Johnson Mellon puts their money where their mouth is. In the past several years, we've, as a company, had tithed, which is pretty unheard of.
Things from donating equipment to churches, helping non-for-profits, helping wounded warriors, working with the Catholic community, the churches, a lot of people that may be even struggling that help daycares, help children come into this industry. So we do a lot of donations back to the community, but also our workers and our team also helps in those projects.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
You got a broken door, trapped car, you can't buy time.
We take it very seriously and take pride in being responsive.
We have all of Central Indiana covered from Martinsville,
Avon,
up to Anderson,
to Cicero. There's always somebody in your area.
It's important that we're able to get there, same day, because people's time is valuable.
On our trucks, we carry just about everything we need to fix a garage door right then and there.
Sunshine, rain, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Your leading scorers for Lawrence North Wildcats is William 8. For your Eagles, it is Wiggins.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Every day, Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling keeps Hoosiers comfortable at home. When you see our bright orange trucks on the road or in your neighborhood, you know the Summers tradition of trust is alive and well. We deliver essential services where you need them, when you need them. We're trusted for quality service at fair prices. Plus, we do what it takes to keep you safe in a time like this. Just call Summers and enjoy the season at home in comfort.
Halftime about to get to a conclusion here on Indiana SRN, as it is a 23-point ball game each between Lawrence North and Heritage Christian here on Indiana SRN. With CJ Benberry, I'm Kurt Darling, and a pretty even keel first half for these two teams, CJ.
Yeah, that first quarter looked like Ellen was just going to be shooting the lights out of the gym so far. They knocked down, by my count, 4 threes in that first quarter, jumped out to a 16-8 lead, but things turned the tide a little bit in that second quarter. Heritage Christian's defense really put the clamps on that Ellen offense. They didn't score their first points, I think, till about maybe 4 or 3 minutes left in that second quarter. And Ari Wiggins had herself a quarter. She scored, I believe, 8 points in that second quarter. Tierney Brown had 4 total. They put up 15 points in that second quarter to knot this game up at 23 apiece. But I mentioned earlier the defense kind of leading to the offense for Heritage. They put the clamps down, and a little frustration you saw at the end of that quarter from Ellen. Jayla Smith got a technical foul. Heritage Christian wasn't able to capitalize on the free throws, but you saw what the frustration can do for this Ellen team, and I think they just need to take a deep breath and kind of slow things down a little bit, get back into their game, keep going to that basket, because fouls will eventually be called their way. There's only 1 or I think 3 fouls called in that first half. So if Ellen continues to drive to the basket, try to get to the free throw line, I think things will even out a little bit in the second half.
Running down the score sheet here, as you have Heritage Christian being led by Ari Wiggins, as you might expect. She leads all scorers with 10 points, 7 points for Tierney Brown, 4 points for Courtney Lee, and 2 points for Audrey Boer. The other players that have played, Jasmine Williams as well, has Lily Chapman, they have both played and have not scored so far. The Heritage Christian Eagles, as my score sheet indicates right now, have only missed 3 free throws all game long, but they have made 8 of them, so they are 8 of 10 so far at the foul stripe, for 23 points on their side of the scoreboard. 8 points for Monica Williams on the other side of the scoreboard for Lawrence North. She leads all scorers on that side. Jayla Smith with 7 points to her credit, 6 points for Lanaya Early, and 2 points for Ariel Helm. Leah Petty as well as Shamaria Walker have played and have not scored for Lawrence North. 7 fouls committed by Lawrence North in that first half to only 3 for Heritage Christian, giving the Heritage Christian Eagles the 1-and-1 bonus to end that first half. Of course, that slate gets wiped clean going into the second half. Lawrence North has burned 1 timeout. Heritage Christian has yet to take a timeout in this contest. Second half about to get underway here. As you see, you mentioned those 3 3-pointers scored by Lawrence North earlier in the contest. Those all came in the first quarter.
Yeah, and again, that defense, they didn't allow a 3-point shot made in that second quarter. So again, I don't know if that was Ellen's ammo, like, okay, let's try to shoot the 3. That's their weakness of the defense so far, or if they just kind of got away from that, being frustrated with what the defense was showing. So we'll see what they can do here in this third quarter.
Out of the timeout. And starting things off here is Monica Williams. And she puts up a shot that's off the mark. And a quick rebound for Ari Wiggins. And again, coming out in the 1-3-1 zone, but a moving man-to-man defense a little bit here for Lawrence North. Wiggins with a long 3, and she starts things off pretty well here for Heritage Christian.
And that's just good ball movement. You saw Wiggins bring the ball down, pass the ball to the right side, kind of cut to the basket, then drift back out to the wing. Ellen didn't rotate to her side, and Ari Wiggins had just an easy 3-point shot and then a defensive turnover, or defense making a turnover for Ellen. So, again, another strong start. The defense has really picked up since that first quarter. I keep saying it, but it really has.
Full court press from Lawrence North here off of the carrying violation by Anaya Graves. And Anaya Graves starting the second half here. And it gets tipped out of bounds by Lawrence North on the other side as Audrey Boer took a pretty good lick there from Graves. So resetting things, there's the slap from Tierney Brown. She has to get rid of the ball here quickly. And that's going to be tipped over, and it will be taken by Ari Wiggins.
And that's fortunate to get tipped because that should have been an over the back.
And there's a shot from Tierney Brown. Does not fall, but she's fouled in the act of shooting. That's going to go against Williams. And now a shot coming up so that's going to be a foul on Lanaya Early. That is her first. And once again, Tierney Brown showing her efficiency at the foul stripe. She hits both shots. She is now 7 of 8 at the free throw line. So a quick 5-0 run to start this second half for Heritage Christian. Off the screen for Smith. Early tries a 3 of her own. From the corner, no good. And a big rebound and stride from Ari Wiggins. Lays it up. Can't get that to fall. Offensive rebound there by Brown. Can't get that to clean up either. And Lawrence North comes away with it. And that's going to be Brown picking up the rebound. And now Smith off the floater. Gets that to go.
And again, she's just so tall. And it has her listed at 5'9", but she seems so much taller than that. But when you have the height like that and you have the finesse around the basket, you're going to be the leading scorer for any team as she averages 21.
Lee inside, tries to turn around on Shamaria Walker and can't get that to fall. And that's going to be a foul on Sydney Hughes. And that's going to be Hughes' second foul of the night. And you have 2 quick fouls here on Lawrence North to start this second half. And Courtney Lee gets her first foul shot to fall. And this is a team, Heritage Christian, that's shooting 63% on the season as a team. They've made 41 of 65 coming into the contest. And keeping up the good percentages there is Courtney Lee. About 6 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. And it's still a 5-point advantage for Heritage. Graves with it.
Now it seems to be a man-to-man defense for Heritage Christian.
Williams around the horn to early, fires a three, a little bit too strong.
And the three-point percentage has gotten cold for LN. You know, at some point you're going to have to start giving up the three and attacking that basket or getting the 2-point shots. You can't live and die by the three.
Ari Wiggins holding the ball at the wing, and she loses the handle trying to hit Brown and stride inside. And Williams quick in transition on the other side. Williams fakes the three-pointer, steps to her left, and then hits it right off the bat there. What a play by Jayla Smith.
And she's looking good, and that trims lead down to 2. But again, I said I was interested to see how this Jayla Smith, Ari Wiggins battle is going, and so far they're going back and forth on the stat sheet.
Frustration there from Ariel Helm as she picks up a foul in transition, so that will again put Tyranny Brown back at the foul stripe. That's 3 early fouls now for Lawrence North. Getting a little physical and showing a little bit of frustration is North, as Heritage Christian has been able to pretty much have their way so far offensively. This third quarter, Tyranny Brown misses the opening free throw.
But I like the physicality from LN because you can't just be too soft against this Heritage Christian team. Don't give them any free baskets. Make them earn it. Be physical with them. Get them off the block. You're still only down 3, so you're still in this game. And if you can just find the 3-point attempts to fall, then you'll be right back in it.
A long three from Jayla Smith right off the front of the iron. Lee wrestles away the rebound. And Ari Wiggins tries to find Boer along the baseline. It's just a little bit too high. Tyranny Brown now has 10 points after making 3 of 4 so far in the second half. Monica Williams with it on the right side. She dribbles from the elbow inside, and you're going to get a hand check foul there on. Looks like it's
I think
Jasmine Williams getting the call there. That'll be her first foul and the first of the half. Quick inbound inside underneath to Hughes. Can't get that to go, and wrestled away by Courtney Lee.
And that's a good out-of-bounds play, though, for LN. Just wasn't able to knock it down.
Lee spin move inside. Ooh. And a good hook shot.
And good footwork there by Courtney Lee again. Faked one way, went to the other, but used her offhand. I think it was her left, and was able to knock it down.
Close to 4 minutes left here in this third quarter, and now we have a foul coming up on Heritage Christian. You're going to give that to Audrey Boer, her first, and the second of the half on Heritage Christian. 2 shots coming up here for Monica Williams. And Williams knocks down the first one. That is her second trip of the night to the foul stripe. And has finally gotten into the score sheet here on this third quarter, having yet scored. She had 8 points in the first half. And she knocks down both free throws. Full court press is effective for Lawrence North as they are down by 3. And another foul coming up. Going to put that on Tyranny Brown. Yep. That is her third personal foul now.
So she's going to have to start being a little careful with how she plays defense, as it looks like And
a timeout has been called by Heritage Christian. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here on Indiana SRN. That is the first timeout taken by Coach Cassie Wiseman here this afternoon. It's been a pretty even-keel ball game, of course. Heritage Christian getting out early in this second half. A big three-pointer by Ari Wiggins is all she scored, along with some big points from Courtney Lee. She's really come alive so far here in this second half.
Yeah, and she's looked good, and I just can't help but really just notice how her footwork is down in the paint. I mean, again, she can rebound the basketball, but you just see the finesse and how she's able to use her feet down in the block. And again, Coach Weissman has some good players on this team. Speaking of the battle between Jayla Smith and Ari Wiggins, Smith has 12 points, Wiggins has 13. So I'm not going to say these two girls are even, but they're the best players on respectively each team. And so far, again, on the stat sheet, they're proving that to be correct.
Quick inbound here as Shamaria Walker checks back into the ball game for Lawrence North. She has a screen from Helm, and Smith loads up a long three. And off the mark again, loose ball, corralled by Lawrence North, but double-teamed along the sideline there is Graves. She gets it away. Smith tries again and hits it. That is the second three of the second half and her third of the game.
And then just a careless turnover by Heritage Christian. So you tie up this game for LN, and then you force a turnover in the backcourt. That's 2 times that full-court press has turned Heritage Christian over in this half.
Walker into the paint, kicking it back out now to Smith for another three, and can't get that to fall. Lee grabs the rebound. Ari Wiggins facing a triple team in the top of the key before spreading things out. Off a screen, Ari Wiggins with a difficult three-pointer fired up, no good. Big hustle by Brown to get the offensive rebound. And Wiggins will try again, and she hits it that time.
She tells Smith, anything you can do, I can do better. They're going to match that three. And so now Heritage Christian back up top, up by 3.
36-33, 2 3-pointers made this half by Ari Wiggins, and an easy lay-in by Monica Williams, her first field goal of the second half. Wiggins, again quick in transition. That's where she's the most dangerous, and she shows you why right there. But Jayla Smith doing the exact same thing back the other end, but she can't get that one to convert. And Lee's going to have to take it up herself before finally finding Brown. Lee tries to fire a baseline jumper. That does not go. And getting quick in the transition here as both teams are going up tempo the last few minutes. Bounce pass underneath to Shamaria Walker. She gets that to go over Lee. And that is Walker's first 2 points of the evening.
And again, if you want to play the pace game, I think that kind of benefits Heritage Christian just because of Ari Walker, but LN can do the same thing with Jayla Smith. So we'll see if both teams continue to keep up this high pace.
Boer can't get the floater to go, but Brown is there to clean things up. That's her first field goal of the second half, as we have about under a minute and a half left to play. So third quarter action. Lawrence North leads the series between Heritage Christian. Have won 5 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams, as Walker is fouled going to the basket. And so you're going to give that foul to Ari Wiggins. That is her first and the 4th on Heritage this second half. And so Walker's first trip to the foul stripe. Going to be shooting 2. And she misses off to the left side on her first one. Lanaya Early checks back into the ball game here for Lawrence North. And Walker misses both foul shots, keeping it a 3-point contest for Heritage. Long pass to Wiggins along the corner. Back outside to Brown for 3, and off the front of the iron, no good. Smith with some urgency, hits early again in the corner. Can't get that 3-pointer to fall, and Courtney Lee using her height advantage to gather that rebound. Williams has it over to Brown. She loses the handle, almost a traveling call, but the refs say play on. Ari Wiggins has some protection, loads up a 3, and Lee can't get she does get the offensive rebound along the baseline, and Heritage Christian will reset.
And she's over double digits now, 4 rebounds, Courtney Lee.
And Brown is fouled going right to the basket, and Ariel Helm again charged with the foul.
And Ellen's not happy about the fouls being called down in the paint. For LN, they're not really, they are driving the basket, but they're not initiating that contact. So if you're LN, you can't be too upset if you're not drawing the fouls, but you got to play defense without fouling.
Tierney Brown has been pretty efficient so far at the foul stripe tonight. She's only missed 2 shots in 6 trips so far. This will be her 6th trip to the foul stripe tonight, and she hits both foul shots. And with how competitive Lawrence North has been playing on the offensive side of the ball, even though they haven't been able to get some shots to fall, any free throws you can make, you certainly want to make them here if you're Heritage. And an steal by Audrey Boer. It's tipped out of bounds by Lawrence North. Another turnover as we have under a minute to play. And some urgency here from Heritage Christian. Williams brings it across the timeline. Underneath to Lee. And tries to hit Wiggins behind her back, but Early snags it away. Kicks it back out to Smith, who is closely guarded there by Wiggins. Along the baseline, tries to fire a hook shot, but is fouled. And they're going to give that foul to Wiggins, it looks like. And no, they're going to give that to Courtney Lee, her 2nd. And that is the 5th on Heritage Christian this half. So we have under a minute to play in this 3rd quarter. And Jayla Smith at the foul stripe hits her first foul shot. And this is Smith's first trip to the foul stripe tonight. And she rims the other one no good. A lot of points being left at the foul stripe tonight here for Lawrence North as Brown gets fouled in transition. And no, they're going to give that they're going to say just is going to be saying it's out of bounds on the Eagles, so no foul called there. And another turnover. It's a 4-point ball game. Heritage Christian just holding on to the lead, and it looks like Lawrence North going to try and hold for the last shot here. And they're going to go attack right to the basket here, and they're going to draw a foul. That will put Williams at the line.
And this is what I was saying. If you keep driving the basket, attacking the basket, you'll get the foul calls. It normally tends to even itself out. If it goes one way in the first half, it usually goes the other way in the second half. So, again, you mentioned a lot. Both teams leaving a lot of points at the free throw line. So this could have come down to a free throw game. And if that happens, you've got to knock down your free throws, as there's another missed free throw by the Wildcats.
Monica Williams' 2nd missed foul shot tonight. And now Heritage Christian has 16 fouls, 1 more, and they will be putting Lawrence North in the 1-and-1. And both free throws missed by Williams. And it's going to be tipped out of bounds by North. Heritage Christian ball. Again, a full court press coming from Lawrence North. Wiggins tries to turn the corner, gets it across the timeline, but that will run the clock down to the final seconds. That's after 3. We'll be back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
All scores being led right now by Ari Wiggins with 18 points for Heritage Christian as the Eagles have a 42-38 lead over the Wildcats. Out of the 4A ranks, you have Heritage Christian in the 3A ranks, and right now it's been a pretty solid game all around, minus a few hiccups for Heritage Christian.
Yeah, and again, they had started off slow in that first quarter. They've picked things up, and they've scored more points in each quarter so far, so we'll have to see if they can continue that trend or can LN find its way back into this game as a turnover on the inbounds pass over the head of Ari Wiggins. So, you start off, that's not how you want to start off the half, and now LN will get a chance to chip at this lead.
Williams going to get things going for Lawrence North in the fourth quarter, and that does not go anywhere. And Heritage Christian going to try and nullify that bad start off of the inbound. Jasmine Williams holds it up top to Boer. Now underneath to Brown. She's double teamed, turns the corner inside, puts up a hook shot inside, and a nifty move by Tyranny Brown. She now has 16 points. And as we talked about, the good 1-2 punch there between Wiggins and Brown as the shot goes awry and back outside. Tipped up almost by Wiggins on the steal. And Jayla Smith has it and puts up the floater and knocks it down from the paint.
I just like her game so much. She's long and lanky, but she has the ability to shoot over a lot of defenders in this game. And you just saw the way she's able to shift her body and then stop and be under control and put up a nice-looking shot.
18 points for Jayla Smith, 18 points for Ari Wiggins. Between these two teams and these two players, these two talented players who are definitely going to be in talks for Miss Basketball when it's all said and done later on come March. As we have a foul coming up on Heritage Christian, it looks like. No foul called. Oh, that is a foul called. Okay, so we have a foul called. It's going to be 1-1 for Lawrence North. It's going to be on Heritage Christian. And so this will put Early at the line for two shots, or for a 1-1, excuse me. And this is Early's first trip to the foul stripe. And she can't get that to go. And Lawrence North definitely letting some opportunities slip away at the foul stripe.
I think they'd have the lead back.
As Wiggins right to the hoop.
Yeah, Ellen would have the lead if they were knocking down all of their free throws, because they've missed at least 6, and they're down 6 points right now.
They have missed 6 foul shots indeed, C.J. Benberry. And so leaving points on the board, if they had made all 6, they would have a tie ball game right now. And Ari Wiggins now has 20 points after that last shot she made. She has the ball right now for Heritage. There's Williams, gets her pass tipped out of bounds by Early.
And her streak lives this early in the year as she has scored at least 20 points in the 4 games that they have played so far.
Wiggins gets the inbound here. And Heritage trying to win their 4th game against Lawrence North in the history of this series. And it's going to be a traveling violation on Lawrence North. And it looked like it almost may have been a foul call on Wiggins, but that's going to be Heritage ball and another costly turnover by Lawrence North. Those have really been killing the Wildcats today.
They have, and I'm not going to blame them on that one. I thought that was a foul by Wiggins going after the loose ball and knocking over the Ellen player.
And off the inbound there, it's Lawrence North basketball. So a little bit of ball don't lie going right there, CJ.
Yep.
Jayla Smith can't get that to go. And Boer gets the rebound, and Heritage Christian will walk things up. And time starting to wane here as we have 5.5 minutes remaining in this contest.
I mean, I think that shot was taken by Early, and she has not made a shot since her 2 3-pointers in that first quarter, and all of her shots have come from the wing, or the corner, excuse me, and she just has not been able to knock one down. But, I think that's what Coach Giffen likes. He's going to tell his players to continue to shoot it, even if you're open, and that shot will eventually fall. Shooters have to continue to shoot.
Tyranny Brown picks up her dribble, tries to fire a shot, and gets blocked easily. Wiggins will try to clean things up, and that doesn't go either. 5 minutes remaining. As Smith tries to drive to the hoop, she gives it off to Helm, and she's fouled. Going to get a push there on Heritage Christian. That's going to be Courtney Lee picking up her third.
And a good move there by Helm. She had position down there, and she was open. Thought she would have taken it the first opportunity that she had, but she decided not to do it. So that's, I think, the 8th team foul for Heritage Christian. So if Ellen can just get them 2 more fouls and get back to the free throw line, they'll have a shot. But again, another missed free throw, 7 missed free throws in this game. You have to be able to knock down your free throws, and Ellen's going to have to do that if they want to win this game.
They are 4 now of 7 at the foul stripe, and they miss it again. That is 8 missed foul shots. They are 50% at the foul stripe here today. Under 4.5 now to play as Wiggins drives into the paint, and she's fouled on the floor. And give that foul to Anijah Graves. 5th team foul now on Lawrence North. And a little game reset here for you. You have 18 fouls for Heritage Christian, 5 for Lawrence North. And Ari Wiggins with a difficult 3 from the corner does not fall. Early will try to bring things the other way. Long pass into the corner. Here comes Smith, and it gets tipped out of bounds.
I think she might have wanted to dump that off to Helm, but it got tipped at the last second. But again, a good-looking play. Drive to the basket, attract that defender to you, and then find the open defender in the paint.
Smith, quick off the inbound. Early can't get that to go off the rebound. She tries again, and it's stripped away by Helm. And a wide-open 3 from Smith off the front of the iron, and Heritage finally able to get the rebound. And Coach Wiseman urging her team to slow things down a little bit, but of course Brown has an opening and she takes it. It is now the largest lead of the ball game here for Heritage Christian with 8 points.
And Brown is just so strong. There's not anyone on LN that's able to match up with her defensively.
Steal there by Wiggins. One-on-one here with Smith. Right to the hoop. She lays it in. 22 points for Ari Wiggins in this ball game.
And she is just able to do so many things and score so many ways. A lot of her points coming in transition.
And a foul. Going to probably get a blocking foul on Heritage here. And we'll see who they get that. It's going to be Ari Wiggins, her second, and the 9th on Lawrence North. One more, and they'll be shooting 2 shots. This will be a 1-and-1 for Jayla Smith, it appears. So a 1-and-1 coming here for Smith, and Lawrence North, as we said, is 50% from the foul stripe today. 4 of 8, and now make it 5 of 10, or 5 of 9.
And I think if you're going to get to the free throw line, I want Jayla Smith at the free throw line. And now coming down with about 3:15 to go here in this 4th quarter, I think the ball has to be in her hands every possession for Ellen at this point. Make her be the point guard or the facilitator or the scorer. She's going to have to do it all here for Ellen as they now find themselves down 8.
Jalen, a timeout taken here by Lawrence North. And we'll keep it right here on Indiana SRN as we'll take now a look at the stat sheet. You have 20 points now for Jayla Smith, 22 points for Ari Wiggins of Heritage, and Tierney Brown has a quiet 18 points of her own as well. Majority of her points coming from the foul stripe. And that seems to be a huge difference, as we've been talking about here throughout the game, CJ, is the fact that Heritage Christian, even though they haven't been able to hit every one of their free throws, they have been a little bit more efficient in that regard.
And Tierney Brown has eight of her points have come from the free throw line. She's made more free throws than LN has the entire night. So, and that just says the struggles that Ellen has had today at the free throw line. But at this point, if you're Ellen, you can't think about the missed free throws. You got to think about, if I'm going to get back to the free throw line, let's just chip away at this lead, make 2 free throws, and then we got to play defense. And defensively for Ellen, they have switched back to a man-to-man, so now it's who can you stop your defender or your offensive player from scoring. Tierney Brown is with the ball. She's just so big. It's hard for Ellen to stop her and Wiggins.
Heritage ever able to navigate the full court press as Tierney Brown has the ball. And Brown, an SIU commit, the senior, hands it off to the Michigan commit in Ari Wiggins. Lots of D1 talent on this Heritage Christian Ball Club, and now you have great Courtney Lee off the backdoor cut, able to knock it down for her first points of the fourth quarter. And Courtney Lee going to be playing Division III ball at Hope College. And Smith able to negate the block from Courtney Lee and knock down the shot.
Again, she has to touch the ball every possession for LN, whether it's bring the ball up or once you get the offense set, the ball is in her hands. She's going to be the one to bring Ellen back from this 8-point deficit.
Approaching the 2-minute mark, the Euro step inside for Brown, and it just does not fall for her. Smith tries to fire the floater, no good. And Ari Wiggins corrals the rebound. And now if you're Heritage, you really start trying to milk the clock here as we have 2 minutes to play. And going inside is Brown. She'll go to the foul stripe. Actually, it'll be a foul on the floor. And so not quite a 1-and-1 here. It's 16 fouls on Lawrence North. And so it'll be an inbound from Brown. One more foul, and it will be 1-and-1 bonus for Heritage Christian. And Helm tries to steal the ball off the inbound, but Lee able to come away with it. Tierney Brown gets blocked there by Smith. Lee tries to put it back up, and it's corralled by Early. She comes in transition. Double-teamed, and it's going to be a foul, and it's an offensive foul on Lawrence North. And Ariel Helm, even though she's not the one who committed the foul, she can't believe it.
But did you see how excited all Heritage Christian got over that call? I mean, we're not there. Another questionable call. Ellen hasn't gotten a lot of calls for this entire game. I thought she was out of position. So just another unfortunate break for Ellen. But, again, you saw how happy everyone was for Heritage Christian, especially for Jasmine Williams, the senior shooting guard.
Wiggins underneath to Lee. Can't get the shot to go. Quick in transition is Smith. She fires a three in desperation. She does not get that to go either. Wiggins comes back with it. 70 seconds remaining here in this fourth quarter. And it's all looking very good for Heritage. Again, Lawrence North leads the overall series between these two teams, 5 wins to 3. And now we have 1 minute remaining. And a reach-in foul there. It's going to be intentional fouls now here. This will put Tierney Brown at the line for a 1-and-1 as Lawrence North will try to stop the clock to salvage whatever they can. So 18 fouls now for Lawrence North. 9 team fouls on Heritage Christian. But, of course, Heritage Christian has no reason to foul at this point. And Tierney Brown has certainly been efficient. She misses the 1-and-1, though. And coming back the other way is Williams, and she gets her pocket picked by Wiggins. And Wiggins opting to let the clock run out here and not go after it. She dribbles off of her foot, a turnover back to Smith, and it's going to be a blocking foul on Brown. Good on Brown, though, to try and draw the offensive foul.
Yeah, just a weird back and forth as Wiggins steals the ball, but then as trying to pull it out, dribbles it off her foot. That gives Ellen an opportunity to try to get points on the board. I thought if she would have made that to make it a 6-point game, then you start playing the foul game. But again, if you make both these free throws, they still might opt to do that. But again, first things first, you got to knock down the free throws.
Anijah Graves at the line for 2 foul shots. She puts up the first one and knocks it down. That is her first point of the ball game. She has not been able to get into the scorers column until now. to make it a 6-point deficit. And she does so. And now a timeout called by Lawrence North. That'll be a full timeout. We'll take one with them back in a minute here on Indiana SRN.
Every day, Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling keeps Hoosiers comfortable at home. When you see our bright orange trucks on the road or in your neighborhood, you know the Summers tradition of trust is alive and well. We deliver essential services where you need them, when you need them. We're trusted for quality service at fair prices. Plus, we do what it takes to keep you safe in a time like this. Just call Summers and enjoy the season at home in comfort.
In the middle of a timeout here at Heritage Christian High School with C.J. Benberry, I'm Kurt Darling, and the second starting to wane here for Lawrence North to try and make something here, but still Heritage Christian has been very disciplined here down the stretch.
They have, and it's going to come down now for them. Can they make free throws? Ellen is more surely than not going to play the foul game, so if you're Heritage Christian, you want the ball in your hands of Tierney Brown or Ariana Wiggins. We'll see what offensive set they run for the out-of-bounds play, but if you're LN, force the ball out of their hands and get the ball into someone else.
Bounce pass in here to Ari Wiggins. She brings it up court, and now we'll try it again to waste some clock before she is fouled by Ariel Helm. That is her third and the 9th on Lawrence North. Still 1-1 territory here for Ari Wiggins.
And for Ellen, you wasted 7 seconds off the clock there. You had a chance to foul her in the backcourt, and then you just let her run around. And again, wasted 7 seconds, and a good free throw shooter is Wiggins, but misses.
And that is the second time that they have missed the front end of a 1-1. Ari Wiggins steals it in transition, and she's fouled. No, they're just going to they have play still going, as it looked like they may have fouled her off of that steal. But they will get Williams here with the foul, and I believe this is her 5th personal foul. I'm not quite sure yet. Either way, that is 10 team fouls on Lawrence North, so it is now 2 shots for Ariel Wiggins.
And it just seemed like some confusion for LN that it looked like they passed the half-court line, but then they wanted to get it to Jayla Smith, but it would have been a backcourt violation if you would have handed the ball off. Just some confusion for LN as another missed free throw, and
It's two shots here, so we got her off that rebound there for early, a little confused, so she has one more coming. But that's 3 missed foul shots in a row here by Heritage Christian down the stretch.
And they're leaving the window slightly open for LN. Again, I got about 17, 18 seconds on the clock here. Another missed free throw.
That's 4 in a row.
So now if you can knock down a 3 here, you'll be down 3.
But Smith going right to the hoop. And they let her get the shot to fall, and a timeout. Again here called by Lawrence North. It'll be a full timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here on Indiana SRN as the time starts to tick down. So now you have still a 2-possession ball game, although if you get an old-fashioned 4-point play, depending on if you throw up a 3-point shot, that could be 1 possession. But either way, Heritage Christian with 4 points left at the foul stripe over the last few seconds or so. Not exactly ideal.
It's not, but again, if I'm LN, if I'm fouling anyone, I guess put Wiggins back on the line. She's missed 4 free throws here down the stretch. So hopefully you're hoping you can get 6 missed free throws, and I've got about 10, 11 seconds on the clock here, so you're going to have to work quickly if they do miss some free throws. But again, Heritage Christian has left the door just slightly open for LN. If LN can maybe get a steal here and get a quick 3 and then foul, there's ways for her to stay back in this game. We'll see if they can open it.
Long inbound to Audrey Boer, and she's immediately fouled, standing at about the left wing. She'll go to the foul stripe. That was a pretty good presence of mind by Audrey Boer to at least give Brown a little bit of an opening.
Now, she's only attempted 3 free throws on the young season so far. She's knocked down 2 of them, so 67% for Boer. Again, her first time at the line tonight.
And she has 2 points, which were scored in the first quarter. And she gets it to fall, and that's a much-needed free throw right there for Heritage Christian to make this as difficult as possible for Lawrence North down the stretch. And Boer unable to get the second one to go, and they're going to call a lane violation on Boer as she was going for her own rebound. So that will negate that foul shot either way, but still a 5-point ball game, and you'll take any point that you can get right here.
Surprised Ellen's not taking a timeout to try to advance the ball. They're going to take her from the backcourt.
Only a few seconds remaining. Smith at the buzzer, and that will do it. And Heritage Christian comes away with their 4th win all-time against Lawrence North. They move to 2-1 on the season. Meanwhile, Lawrence North dealt their 2nd loss of the season. They fall to 2-2 on the season as well. And so a very, very well-played ball game here for Heritage Christian in spite of a few hiccups.
It looked kind of rough for them in the first quarter, but their defense picked it up in the second through the fourth quarter, forced Ellen in some bad shots. Ellen wasn't able to knock down a bunch of shots, and then it was their free throw game late for Ellen, not able to knock down. They missed 7 free throws down the stretch. You put that 7 points on the board, it'd be a 2 or 1 point game, and then who knows what could have happened there. So Ellen, big free throws were the biggest thing, their biggest Achilles heel today.
Ari Wiggins finishes the day with 22 points. Tyranny Brown, 18 points, along with some help from Courtney Lee. She finishes with 10 points for Heritage Christian. 24 points to lead all scorers for Jayla Smith tonight for Lawrence North, but unfortunately, Ellen given their second loss of the season. Lawrence North next up for them. They have their first MIC conference matchup against, that'll be on the road against North Central. That game taking place November 18th. Heritage Christian next on their schedule, they have Shenandoah. That's going to be taking place on November 17th. You can catch that game right here on Indiana SRN. CJ Benberry, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Always a pleasure seeing you, Kurt, and hopefully you stay safe and healthy during this whole pandemic, as do you, our listeners, stay safe and stay 6 feet apart and socially distance.
Absolutely. For all of us here at Indiana SRN, special thanks to our on-site cameraman, Otto Desario, and, of course, our on-site engineer, Keith Myers. For CJ Benberry, I'm Kurt Darling, saying so long till next time. You've been watching girls high school basketball action here on Indiana SRN. So long.